Remember when a normal day could surprise you? Not because something dramatic happened, but because you hadn't already decided what it meant. Now you can predict your week by Tuesday. You can predict people's reactions mid-sentence. You can predict how the night will end before it begins. And the strangest part is, nothing is technically wrong. Life is just familiar in a way that feels permanent. This video isn't about boredom. It's about something deeper. The moment life stops feeling new is the moment your attention starts arriving before you do. People think life stops feeling new because the world gets smaller. But often, the world doesn't change, your perception does. You start scanning for patterns instead of experiencing moments. You stop entering situations and start evaluating them. You don't walk into a restaurant, you judge it. You don't meet a person, you categorize them. You don't enter a new phase. You compare it to the last one. That's adulthood's hidden shift. Experience becomes assessment. And once your brain becomes a prediction machine, novelty becomes rare. Not because life has nothing left, but because you're no longer available to be surprised. So why does this newness disappear? It's because your mind becomes efficient. Your brain learns to conserve effort. When you're younger, everything costs attention. A street, a song, a room, your mind is open because it doesn't know what it's looking at yet. But as you age, your mind starts doing something ruthless. It fills in the blanks automatically. It sees a situation and says, I know how this goes. I know what this is. I know who I'll be here. Efficiency feels like intelligence, but it has a side effect. It removes friction, and friction is where newness lives. Because newness isn't a property of the world. It's a property of your attention being slightly unprepared. The silent culprit in all of this is that you stop being a beginner. There's a type of vulnerability we lose in adulthood. Beginnerhood. Beginners don't have a reputation to protect. They don't have a brand. They don't have a fixed identity. Adults do. Adults walk into rooms already trying not to look foolish, already trying to be consistent, already trying to be the type of person who... And that effort to remain coherent kills novelty. Because novelty often requires you to be bad at something. To be uncertain. To ask questions you should already know. To look unpolished. When life stops feeling new, it's sometimes because you stopped allowing yourself to be inexperienced. And you can't feel newness while trying to look like you've seen it all. Another shift happens quietly. You stop living moments and start collecting them. Not always for social media. Sometimes just for yourself. You go somewhere and a part of you is thinking, will this be worth it? Will I remember this? Is this a good use of time? You're not there. You're managing the memory of being there. And when you manage experience, you flatten it. Because life feels new when you surrender to it. And it feels old when you supervise it. Adults become supervisors of their own lives. They monitor, optimize, evaluate. That is useful for survival. But it's terrible for wonder. And the uncomfortable truth is, newness is often social, and we lose it. Newness isn't only places. It's people. When you're younger, your life is full of collisions, unexpected conversations, new friendships, spontaneous plans. Adulthood removes collisions. You schedule everything. And when everything is scheduled, life stops colliding with you. You only see the people you already know. You only go where you already go. You only talk about what's already been discussed. It's not because you're boring. It's because adulthood becomes closed loop. A closed loop life doesn't feel new. It feels managed. And the worst part is, a closed loop life can look very successful from the outside. Which is why many adults stay there until they can't ignore the flatness anymore. So we arrive at the turning point. Most people try to fix this by adding something big. A trip, a major change, a new purchase, a new city. Sometimes that helps briefly. But the deeper problem is not lack of stimulation, it's lack of presence. You can go somewhere new and bring the same predictive attention with you. And then the new place becomes familiar in 2 days, because your attention keeps arriving first. So the solution isn't to chase novelty. It's to recover the part of you that can be surprised. That part isn't gone, it's just unused. An unused perception becomes stiff. Let's try a different lens. Practice unfinishing your conclusions. Here's a strange practice. Stop finishing your conclusions so quickly. When something happens, notice how fast you label it. Boring. Not for me. Same as always. Pointless. I know this. Those labels are comfort. They reduce uncertainty. But they also reduce life. Newness appears when you let a moment remain unfinished. When you stay a little longer without deciding. When you let a person surprise you instead of reducing them to a type, not everything will become magical. That's not the point. The point is, your life feels new again when your mind stops rushing to be correct. Because correctness is sterile. Curiosity is alive. When life stops feeling new, it's rarely because life ran out. It's because your attention became too fast, too certain, too practiced. You stopped arriving, you started predicting. And maybe the most powerful change you can make isn't a new place. It's a new way of looking that makes the same place feel unfamiliar again, because the world didn't get smaller. Your perception got ahead of you. Thanks for watching.